Is it recording? Is it
Yes,
recording
it's
there?
recording.
Okay,
Oh, they're both
cool.
recording. Okay.
All right.
Everyone
all right.
needs to shut up for like 20 seconds, you said?
Yes.
Okay, everyone shut
Do
up.
I have it pointed towards anyone?
No, not right now.
Oh, no, you're going to talk first,
Oh, I'll
right?
talk first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, everyone start being quiet for 20 seconds now. I think it's been 20 seconds.
It has been
we don't
20
need that much
seconds.
space.
It was close
Okay.
enough. Okay.
So, welcome to our first segment of Family Conversation.
I hate myself.
Shut up, Quentin. All right, our first topic is Boy Scouts.
Oh, I hated
All right, no, stop.
What?
Because I don't want to have to bleep everything.
I'm not gonna cuss. I never cuss.
All right, we're gonna start from the beginning.
No, we have to
Really?
keep this part in. Zoom. I never cuss. Ever.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I do.
You did too much.
All the time.
Well, I do appreciate how you know how to bleep yourself. So,
Fucking hell yeah.
Quentin.
What?
All right, so I was trying to figure out some ways to get you interested, I guess, besides the video games.
Don't explain stuff I already know.
And so I introduced Boy Scouts into your life. and
Yeah,
you-
thanks to Mr. Lowe, we'll be seeing him soon.
Did Mr. Lowe say? Oh yeah.
Yes,
he
Mr.
did.
Lowe
Yeah,
was
he
the
did,
one that
He
recommended.
did encourage.
You will see Mr. Lowe in a future episode.
Okay, so describe why you hated Boy Scouts so much.
They were so black. They were.
So you're saying, wait. So you're saying maybe if you're Boy Scouts with white folks?
Maybe.
No, you said you didn't like the structure.
Oh, I
You
didn't
said
like-
they were sexist.
Yeah, and I didn't like their. I just didn't like any of their. I just didn't get along with any of them.
Okay,
at
well,
all.
based on personality, so there's a hot topic about how the Boy Scouts are accepting Girl Scouts.
So now they should just call them Scouts, shouldn't they?
Okay, but besides that, so a lot of parents, especially the Boy Scout moms and fathers, are like, well, boys need to be boys and have their own space.
That's dumb.
And I recall you had some conversations with the Scout masters that seemed very sexist.
Kind
Do you
of.
want to? I'm sorry. Do you want to talk about that? Like
They
the sexist comments they
Yeah,
made?
they only said one thing that I found kind of sexist, but it wasn't really sexist.
What was it?
They were reading this like instruction manual on how to take care of a shovel after you're done, and afterward it said clean the shovel, and then they were like, we don't need to clean the shovel. We're not the Girl Scouts. It doesn't need to be clean. I was just like, that's mildly sexist, but okay. I mean, that's rude. That was the only real moment of sexism.
I thought they
I
said
remember.
other things too. We're not just Girl Scouts for this or that, or no. That was
Maybe
it?
they did.
Okay.
Maybe they did. It was too long ago for me to remember.
Okay. All right. So there is one more instance I want to bring up, and that is you sat down because you did not want to do the Pledge of Allegiance while you were at the Boy Scouts, right?
That was at school.
Oh, that was at school.
That was at school.
Okay. All right.
Because there's an amendment right that I don't need to do the Pledge of Allegiance. But they forced me to do it anyway.
Okay. Well.
Because they thought I was just being lazy and didn't feel like standing up. But no, I just...
And what's your reasons?
America's f***ed up.
Okay. Can you express that without having to use the cuss word?
America is f***ed up.
Okay. Yeah, all right. That's all I'm going to hear. So the news that I wanted to break with you was recently an 11-year-old got arrested for not standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance. And they said in the article that he was being disruptive and his reasons to not stand up was obviously
America's
was racist. He used racist. And then he started calling the principal in the school racist or something like that. So he was arrested on the means of being disruptive of the school, of the event, and apparently that was justifiable to put him in a detention center for juveniles. Yes.
That's a bit extreme.
And in the article it said that he has also been experiencing bullying. He is a gifted child taking gifted classes, but he has been experiencing bullying. So
Gifted or special?
and they said gifted. And it was a substitute teacher, so not like a very familiar and hopefully a closer teacher. But I guess with those dynamics of a substitute teacher, they decided to have him arrested. And they told him multiple times to get up and he refused.
Okay, well, what do you want me to say?
I was just wondering what was your take on that?
Okay, it does sound like if what you're saying is true, that kid may have been coming off a bit too strong with what he was thinking. Maybe that was because I realized that if you make your opinion too out there, people will just shut you up. Like if you present yourself too strongly, people will just not care anymore. If you mildly talk about what you're feeling, people will less aggressive. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because the second you start to look aggressive when talking about something you're passionate about, no one wants to listen to you anymore.
So if someone had told you multiple times to get up, would you have gotten up?
That's exactly what I did.
Oh, okay. So you did sat down.
I did sit down. People kept on telling me to stand up, and I was like, no, the country's being very hypocritical. It does not follow half of the things it talks about in this Pledge of Allegiance. So, no, I'm not going to stand. But then they were like, Quentin, just stand up. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to make a big fuss about it. I don't want to have to talk to the teacher after all of this. I'm going to just stand up.
Okay. All right. So you did cave in.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You didn't think it was worth.
If you ain't going to be brave, then go ahead and cave.
Really?
I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. Follow us on Patreon so we can make these t-shirts a possibility.
Okay,
no, don't do that. Don't waste your money.
Okay, so...
You don't have a Patreon?
I guess a little small backtrack with the Boy Scout thing, just a little bit, I guess. Granted, there's the whole controversy of the merging or bringing in girls into the Boy Scouts.
I don't know why people are making a big deal out of that. They're both humans.
So do you think boys should have their own space and not have to worry about girls? Or I guess that's the issue. Boys should have their own space and, girls should not
their
be a part
gender
of that.
shouldn't matter unless they are having sex. But I don't think they do that in the Scouts. Do they? Leave a comment down below if that was dumb.
So personally.
Great English.
I don't know. All right. I am against all boys schools and all girls schools, and so my take on that is, in reality, we're not all boys society and all girls society. It's a mixed, and so I feel like it would be a culture shock. You're at a learning development age.
Oh my goodness, it's almost like both of the genders live alongside of each other and thus should not be separated. That's insane.
I think it shelters a child's growing mind to learn and how to interact with other sexes if you're going to go into, especially in the high school age, because you also did.
If you don't interact with the other sexes, then you're a sexist.
So what is your?
I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt too.
What is your take on that?
Is this an interview or a questionnaire?
I just want to know your opinion.
This feels less like a conversation and more like a interview. Let me read these. I wrote these. I don't know why I wanted to read them.
All right. Well, you seem to be on the same page.
Yeah, I just expressed.
Okay. You remember the summer youth program? So, ironically enough, the first year when you
Summer
did
Youth
apply,
was a summer spoof.
Right. So it has promising, give kids work experience, but you did not feel like you got.
What
any
I
work
really
experience.
hated about their website teaching you about how to work was that they were obsessed with this idea of showing up to work early. Not on time, but early. They seem to think that if you just show up to work early, you would never get fired and you would get so much damn work done. Oh, I said damn. Damn. Anyways, if you do bad work, but you show up to work early, they don't care how early you show up. So long as your work is crappy, they don't like you. If you show up to work really late, but you have really good work, they don't care about how late you're showing up. They like you because you get your work done. So like this idea of if you show up to work early, you're going to be successful is really, really dumb. That is so dumb. If I do good work, I can show up with 30 minutes left in the workday. I'm the only one not getting paid in that case, but I'm still doing good work.
Alright, so based on my experience, especially from my first job.
Oh, it's almost like you have experience in the workforce and I don't.
Right.
That's insane.
So it is all about impression, right? So for example, I remember I was vacuuming the dining hall. It was a little like a hostess. And my legs were tired. So I would sit down. You have to look at me while I'm telling the story.
Well, that's crazy.
I hope you've been doing
Good job, cameraman. You're fired.
that.
Your payment shall be
I was
lifesaver.
quit. So I was still vacuuming, but I was sitting down vacuuming, and they would just make me feel like I was being a bad worker. I'm like, the floor's still getting clean. I'm just sitting down vacuuming.
See, that's the point. Except replace sitting down with being late to work. But the vacuuming is doing the work.
Well, I
still.
mean, the boss wants you to get the work done as soon as possible, not whenever willy-nilly you want to come in.
But if you get the work done, doesn't matter.
Once you get a job, there's going to always be more.
Would you rather have
given
someone
to
that
you.
showed up 2 hours early, but they barely get any work done, or someone that shows up at the
All right.
last hour left in the day, but they got all their work done?
Jobs aren't like that.
I
They'll
know
always
that's.
give you more.
I
Okay,
know.
all right.
Okay, no, I know that's not true. There are some times where people have done all their work, but they still sit there at work because, they get paid for the amount of hours they are at work, even if there is no job left to do at that time. Even for office jobs. Because I watch Adam Ruins Everything.
Oh my God.
Now available to watch on
Quentin,
TrueTV and Netflix.
I need you to stop adding stuff I will not keep in the video. Okay? Thank you.
Not on Hulu, though. What's wrong with you, Hulu?
All right, Quentin.
Yeah, now Adam. Adam is a god. No, not.
You're wasting a lot of film.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
You're
are.
gonna leave this in. She's gonna leave it in.
All right.
I will break.
Back
into
to
your
the
computer.
summer youth program. What were your complaints about the summer youth program?
Give me the.
What were your complaints about the summer youth program?
I just complained.
You had other
I
things.
just
Like you would
complained.
show up and actually do nothing, or
Oh!
the sexist stuff that was going on there, like when the girls, they just do
Yes,
stuff.
I have
All
a handful
right,
of
there
things to
you
talk
go.
about. We were cleaning up the tables there, right?
Oh well, say where you were working at.
Oh,
The
we.
Department of.
I don't know what the name
It was the Department of Environment, honey.
We were just picking up trash. That was all the job was. There were days where apparently it was too hot to go outside, so we just spent the entire day sitting in there, and we got paid. It was great. I'm gonna do it again. No, I'm not. Anyways.
You were playing video games.
Yes, I was playing Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 3DS. Smash Ultimate is now available for Nintendo Switch.
Okay, Quentin, stop being this.
What?
Oh my gosh.
What?
I am
Plugins
not
are
going
great.
to put this
Plugins
in
are great.
Oh my gosh. All right. So you didn't get valuable work experience from the Department of Energy?
I mean, I did work there sometimes, seriously. And when we were indoors, they did sometimes give us indoor jobs, like this time where we had to clean the tables at the school. And yeah, someone did tell us to do something a little bit sexist. they said that the girls should wipe off the tables, and then the guys would pick up the tables and put them away. But here's the thing. All the guys had left the room because apparently they were obsessed with this idea that only the girls should be wiping down the tables. And, like, literally would not let the guys do it. So we just kind of left the room. We come back and all the tables were set up. So at the end of the day, the girls did everything and we just sat there and got paid. And I was like, perfect. They are preparing us for the world.
Alright.
See, it's funny because it's not true, but it's...
I mean, a lot of women would agree that they do
Yeah,
all
they
the
would.
work.
And, you know, you have to
And
pander
the
to your
men-
audience if you want them to keep watching the video.
The men get paid for doing nothing, basically. Okay, that's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Oh, you want to do our argument about the female and the male, what is it, pay gap? Come here, where you going?
I'm going to walk back onto camera because, you know, I had to do that for dramatic effect. You got to cut
Seriously?
out that bit where I walk.
Uh,
No, you have to, after I walk away, you have to cut to me suddenly being in my seat again. Oh no, I've been captured and now I'm back in this chair.
Alright,
I
so,
teleported. It was a hard cut.
so you say it's a myth. You say it's a myth.
Oh, it's
That's
not a
female
myth. It's a misinterpretation.
Misinterpretation. Alright, so you explain and I'll give my counter.
Okay.
Okay.
So the pay gap, right? It is just the collected averages of how much a woman makes annually and how much a man makes annually. One, this research is quite old now, so the numbers are just off and wrong by today's standards. Two, this does not account for single parent households. It does not account for sick days and stuff like that, and it does not account for just a lot of things. The study itself that a lot of people link their, this source from, itself, it gives that information saying that it does not account for a lot of those things. I might find the link later to put in the description down below. And while you're down there, please subscribe, like the video, and share it with a friend. And if you don't... Okay, no, it's not a shameless plug, but you know what is shameless? Not pressing that notification bell to never miss a future upload. Okay, what was I saying?
See, that's why you need to stop with the shameless plug.
The shameless plug is what keeps this channel running. You can also help keep my channel running by going to Patreon.
No one's going to take you seriously if you keep on straying from the topic. Alright, so you're saying, on average, taking a collective of what women pay versus a collective of what men pay, it actually balances out. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I said.
Okay, so...
That's just the average of how much a man makes and the average of how much a woman makes, and it just so happens to be 60 or 74 or whatever cents to the dollar. Now, I myself used to believe in that other, misinterpretation that they were straight up paying women less.
Right.
Oh, it also didn't account for hours worked. So like if the man had stayed working for the entire day versus the woman that decided to leave halfway through, that was added to those statistics of how much the man got paid and the woman got paid.
Okay.
It didn't account for a whole day. And also, when they bring up how African Americans get paid less, they also bring up the Hispanics, and of course they compare it to white people because everyone likes comparing things to white people. But they never show the statistics on Asians. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because the Asians actually get paid more.
They're the exception.
They get paid more than white people. And do you want to know why that is? That's because in China, the way they work every week is way more than how much an American works every week. So once they come here, they naturally feel like they should be working longer hours. That's why they get paid more, because they're working more. If you get work more, you work more, you get paid more. That's how that worked. And it just so happens that these numbers were showing partially that women just weren't working more or weren't getting similar jobs to the men. So the numbers made it look sexist somehow. Now, I know I didn't explain that very well. There are other people that have explained this better than me. Link in the description. While you're down there, press that subscribe button, like button, notification bell. Come on.
Okay, so I would agree with some of the things that you're saying. So maybe yes.
Would or you do?
Okay, the statistics, if you're correct and the statistics are countering that, but I want to also bring in mind, okay, as a woman, they're usually given less opportunities. So if they're given less opportunities, really, Quentin?
Yes, they're given so much less opportunities that colleges are now 60% filled with women. So many less opportunities. So much.
Well, yes, and they would also say women are more educated than men, but still men
So
are
many
paid
less opportunities.
more than women. They are.
Did you not hear what I just said?
What did you say?
What do you mean, what did I just... The cameraman is laughing right now. If you hear a chuckle, that's the cameraman laughing.
All right. Yeah. Women also, because they are parents, usually pass up on opportunities of promotion.
Maybe it's because the laws make it so that it's more easy for the woman to get custody of the children.
Well, we're not talking about that because
You're dragging that in, so I get to mention it now. That's how an argument works.
Can you sit up right?
Nope, because this makes for a very dramatic camera angle.
Quit. Right. Besides custody, because it could be also a married woman, and they're perfectly fine with custody issues with the child.
I'm
But the
actually
woman
afraid to
is
roll my
usually-
eyes because they might fall out of the socket.
Okay.
Okay, I'm safe.
You know what? Like all of our other arguments, we'll wait till you are in the workforce and you have female coworkers and you have a life with a wife and children, and you see.
You seem to think that I
fairly-
won't kill myself before then, but okay.
Okay, so now you're contemplating suicide?
That's not what I said.
Okay. I am saying that the life of a woman and her responsibilities usually do hinder her career options versus a man. Okay? And that usually then affects.
I love how you didn't argue against my statements. You brung up different things. Like, if it was an actual debate structure, I brung up point A. You all of a sudden brung in point B, but my argument A already got rid of all your arguments for point B. Let's move on to the next topic. You let me know who won in the comments below. And while you're down there,
We'll bring this up.
press the subscribe button,
With
the
Mr.
like
Lowe.
button, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future upload.
Alright, video games. Violence in video games. So,
Should I do another joke where I stand up and walk away?
no, I'm tired of this. Sit down. Sit down. Okay, so I'm completely against Grand Theft Auto. But
You let me play Doom. You let me play Rainbow Six Siege. You let me play Watch Dogs.
I have
But
a-
Grand Theft Auto now. Oh,
I
jeez.
have a small confession about enjoying some of the criminal activities in video games. Okay, so
You like killing those politicians.
no.
Oh, okay, because that sounds like you. You would be like, hell yeah, I just killed that.
Quidditch. Okay, all right. So
She don't play video games, by the way. She don't know how to walk forward.
I will watch. I do make an effort to watch what they're playing though, so I have an idea of what you guys are consuming. Anyway.
Or you can just, I don't know, watch your children play the game.
That's what I'm saying. I watch you guys as you're playing. So that's I know.
Oh, I thought you said you were like watching videos on Facebook or something. She doesn't watch YouTube videos. She watches YouTube videos on Facebook.
Yes. Okay. So, what's my? Oh yes. So, my issue with Grand Theft Auto is it's purely very criminal based.
Name a story in one Grand Theft Auto game, because you cannot make a statement without knowing about what you're
I
talking
will admit.
about.
I mean, it's
Recite-
based on the mafia.
Tell me the.
Right?
No, that's the Mafia games.
Oh.
Which you let me play, by the way. She let me play Mafia 3,
Okay.
but not Grand Theft Auto,
All right,
because
all
she
right.
thinks the Mafia
But
is
let
in
me-
Grand Theft Auto.
All right. No, I cannot dictate the story. Now, let me just explain my
Precise.
small My small guilty pleasure when what was that game with the hackers?
Watch Dogs.
Watchdog. Okay.
We were fucking up politicians.
Okay.
That's why you liked it.
No. Okay. So the reason why.
Corporation.
No, listen to me.
What was it?
The reason why I
I'm
enjoyed
mansplaining. I'm interrupting.
The reason why I enjoyed when you were doing criminal acts, right? Like when you started like doing high-speed chasing and running away from the cops and you're hijacking the other cars. What was the intensity was when you were running away and then there was that little like graph point and then you could tell that the police were looking for you and then the loss of interest was interesting to me.
Which is really dumb.
I don't think I saw that Grand Theft Auto, but for some reason it was that I was caught up in the adrenaline rush when you were running away and then the
I can show some footage on the screen right now.
Eluding the police was very like that got me interested. So that was my
it's that rush.
interest.
That's what games are for. That rush.
But for some
like cocaine.
reason,
I don't do cocaine. At least I wouldn't tell you if I did cocaine. Which I don't. Again, I would not tell you if I did. But I don't. But if I did, I wouldn't tell you. No. Yeah, I am.
Okay. What was I gonna say?
You liked it when I ran away
So,
from
yes,
the police.
I basically-
Great advice for my mother, folks.
But
you want to know what also is great advice? Pressing that like
Alright, but Grand Theft Auto, granted, it has a horrible reputation and the whole like sex
Because the media
thing
likes blowing it up.
and all that stuff. Okay, so another thing.
Did you just mention?
Yes, the sex thing, the prostitutes. Now that's not in the other one, in the hackers thing.
It's so heavily censored in there anyway.
Well, I
in
don't
Grand
like
Theft Auto.
that.
Don't ask how I know.
Mm.
You
And
know,
then you see serious guns in Grand Theft Auto too.
you see
Don't
it in
you?
Watch Dogs too.
I didn't see serious guns.
There were serious guns.
like you know, all those guns that you know.
Oh, you mean the big guns,
Yes!
like mini guns and like
Yes!
M14s,
Yeah, that's my next subject. Your knowledge.
P90s.
How much time we got?
It's like 27 minutes.
Oh.
Okay, it's fine. We're just going through all the subjects.
Uncharted.
Okay, and all right, I'm going back.
Uncharted had serious guns too. They had both of those guns that I just mentioned. Maybe not the M14s. I don't think that's a real gun.
No, they had like assault weapons, right? No,
Those are serious guns, Mom.
Okay, well, for some reason,
Assault weapons are serious
okay.
guns. Those are military grade weapons.
The
They
only
say that in the
reason-
game,
okay,
actually.
So the only reason why Uncharted and some of these others.
I'm just happy I get to play video game footage on the screen. I finally get to use it for once.
The only reason why I'm okay with those particular storylines versus.
Because they're the heroes.
Well, yeah.
In
I
Grand Theft
guess.
Auto, you're the heroes too. The government was in those games. Some corrupt agents at the FIB,
You
the
don't
fake
feel like
version
it's
of FBI.
glamorized in criminal work, though? Versus
Movies
the
do
others?
that all the time. That wasn't supposed to land on my lap. No, give it back.
It's distracting. All right.
Did I break something?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so your knowledge of guns is very disturbing.
Yes,
Oh.
I even know about the BFG from Doom. That's not a real gun.
And then an ongoing.
But it is a big
Alright, are you
fucking
done?
gun. It's a big gun.
It's a real gun.
No.
No.
In
It's a
Doom,
fake gun?
in Doom, there's a gun called the BFG, which stands for big fucking gun. Like, it's not a real gun. That was just the gun name that they came up with.
Okay. So ongoing joke.
Sucks the soul.
Can I speak?
No, because I want to keep man-interrupting. I'm too manly to have a
My
woman
younger
speak.
son is obsessed with Overwatch.
He's the cameraman.
And what every parent loves to hear.
We can play Overwatch footage now. Play some dumb footage of
alright,
Doofus
stop.
punching things.
The thing that I, as a parent, love to hear this sarcasm is die, die, die.
Reaper. Die.
Like, that doesn't sound normal, or you
Oh.
want your child to take
The
in.
iconic speech.
And then the speech every hero What is it? Every hero lives again. What is it again?
Heroes never die.
No, heroes never die. And then
It's
I
always
show-
great hearing Reaper going, die, die, die. And then she's like, no, heroes never die.
And
Or
then
the other way around. The other way around is funny. Heroes never die. Die, die, die. That one's funnier.
Right, and then I come with my pessimistic.
But okay, but here's the
heroes
thing.
do
Reaper,
die.
Reaper's entire existence in Overwatch is kind of supposed to be a parody of those edgy, over-the-top characters. So you are telling us that Overwatch is too edgy by giving us an example of the character that is made to be overly edgy.
No, I'm just bringing up the fact that
Oh.
I'm hearing
This-
die
the-
out of my
I
childhood.
just love this one conversation we had. Okay, so my brother and I were playing Borderlands, right? And there are these elemental guns in Borderlands. I was using the fire one, and I kill this one character in the game. And he goes, oh, it's so cold. It's so cold. And I'm like, why is he saying it's so cold? And then I was like, oh, because he's dying. I was confused because I set him on fire. And just everyone started laughing. Because I was confused. Why is he saying it's cold when I set him on fire? And then she was like, I did a great job parenting. I did it.
I did say
You
that?
said something
I
along
don't
those
recall
lines.
that.
Like,
I'm kidding.
I did it. I saved the world. Play the JonTron meme. Wait, do you know the one?
You would have
Darn
to-
it, I have to help you edit this.
All right.
I did it. I saved the world.
So America is obviously fine with violence, but they're not fine, and they have a conflicted skew of the female body, right? Of what's appropriate, what's inappropriate, right? Okay, so I want to bring up, you can face the camera to me, honey. So I want to bring up this story of when I was video editing. Quentin, stop it. Can I tell a story without being interrupted?
Man interrupted.
Boy interrupted.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as well. If you put man in front of it, it becomes evil.
Alright, so everyone talks about how scantily clad women are or portrayed in music videos. And so in my learning of video editing, I was in a room sharing computers with this person beside me that was doing a homemade music video. And it was just a gentleman, and I could tell it was a nice camera, and he was doing these cool little zoom ups. But I noticed he wasn't the most attractive. And because of that, that was my aha moment. My aha moment of aesthetically seeing a pretty woman beside a not so attractive man, let's say like Jay-Z or Lil Wayne, makes your eyes want to see a music video versus
The man is
the
ugly,
singer.
so let's put cute girls in it. That's her logic. And that's everyone in Hollywood's logic. It's great.
Okay, but let's speak upon that.
Except
Is
they're
it
not
still
cute.
degrading?
They think they are.
Is it still degrading? Do they have to be in scantily clad clothes?
I don't think it's degrading if they're getting paid.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Depends on
Well,
how much they're getting paid. But like, I mean, if I was getting paid good money to show my butt to everyone, I mean, I'm not sure if anyone's hiring. If you are hiring, leave a comment down below. And while you're down there, you might as well
Okay. All right. All right.
like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future upload.
So do
You can also follow me on Quora.
All right, Quentin. Quick question. And I think I've raised you right. But do you think it's
You're
a
funny.
woman? Do you think it's a woman's responsibility of how a man treats her, or it's a man's responsibility of how a woman treats her?
Are you
based
telling
on
me to mansplain
how
right now?
she is dressed? Because that's how that's the controversy. Is if a woman is dressed a certain way,
I
and
don't
she
care.
demands being treated a certain way.
I don't care. Wear whatever you want. I don't care. Just don't do this, what was it called? No, I forget what it's called, so it don't matter. Edit that out.
Okay, fine. So you remember a long time ago, I
remember what it was called.
Oh, what it was called.
This thing called free bleeding. Very, very nasty. I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
Now I have to look it up.
No, don't look it
Don't
up.
look it up?
If you
Okay.
look it up, don't press images.
It'd be traumatizing?
Yes.
Okay.
Ruining your adulthood, as you say. Every single time I mention something nasty, like bacteria living in your skin, she's always like, "You're ruining my adulthood."
Or looking at violent video games. That's
Oh yeah, sometimes I'm like, Mom, look, I'm gonna cut this thing's head off with a chainsaw. And she's like, oh my God. And then she's like, "You're ruining my adulthood. You like cut that demon's head off." Play some Doom footage.
Alright, cool.
Look at the carnage.
Okay.
Look at the carnage.
Okay.
The carnage.
So, I had to catch my parenting of boys because I recall one time.
That's
telling
sexist.
you- I remember one time, you have to fix it. I remember one time telling you.
Yeah, you have to record my reaction too.
I remember telling you to make sure whatever girl that you mess with, it be somebody that has seen at least My Fair Lady. You remember that?
Oh yeah, she was like, if I'm ever in a relationship, they had to have seen My Fair Lady because she likes that movie.
Right. And
Which
so
is dumb.
later on.
That reminds me, there's a gun in Borderlands that references My Fair Lady.
You are cutting me off.
It's called Manterrupting. Get it correct. Now I'm mansplaining.
So as a mom of boys, I realized I was teaching them how to judge women. And then I realized I
Yo,
need
that's
to stop.
sexist. Okay,
Right.
you're moving the camera way too much, man. No offense.
So I realized I need to raise you in such a way you should not be judging women for how they look or portray themselves. Really, Quentin?
You're recording the boom mic.
Are you done?
No.
Sit up.
I'm gonna have the rest of the video here.
Get up!
No.
We're not done, because I want to know.
Keep talking! I'll be down here.
Alright, so we're down to...
This is where I belong.
We're down to...
Oh, wait, I wrote something
all
there.
blacks. What
All
is
black.
what that's all about?
So I read this meme and it was like, when you're so progressive, you go back to being racist again. And there was this college that had a black all blacks only graduation. Only the black kids were graduating that day. And now, personally, I don't think that that's racist, because in my mind, and I feel like should be the actual definition of racism. Matter of fact, Google racism right now, and I'm pretty sure this somewhat matches the definition. Finding your own race superior to any other race. Now, having an all-black graduation does not imply the idea that your race is superior. It's just having only black people graduate. But then I thought about if they had a whites-only graduation, even though that's technically not racist, I'm pretty sure that if someone said that, that would be considered really racist. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, it is a double standard. I do agree it is a double standard. But you also really have to take in the fact that American history is racist, and you've admitted that yourself.
Oh yeah, it was, but it's not as bad as it used to be. Not nearly as bad as some people make it out to be.
Didn't you agree that even when you start learning about American history, we start from learning
Okay,
about
here's the thing about American history.
colonialism?
American history is so boring. Like, there are like maybe 300 years worth of history you can get out of American history compared to literally any other culture. Like, I'm sick of people saying that white history is boring because nothing happens in it. That's a dead lie. They have centuries and eons worth of history to possibly talk about. American history, you got nothing. You got
So you're
that
saying white
300-year
history
window.
as in European history, or white history as white American history?
European.
Okay, all right, just checking. All right, but do you think you've learned anything about Native Americans in the block of American
Who
history?
cares about Native Americans?
Really?
No offense, but I really don't care about Native Americans.
No, we had a different conversation about that, because I said when you want to hear like actual Native Americans come to your classroom and talk about their history.
The North Wind protects the tribe.
Really?
Nature, we are
I actually have Native American friends. You want to be offensive?
Well, then edit out this portion of the video, and while you're editing that out, go ahead and remind them.
Oh no! I want people to see this is what I have to do and deal with
Wait,
my
okay.
very racist son.
Are we at the end yet? Because I want you to do something very important at the end of the video.
And what's that?
Look at the camera. Xavier, zoom in on her. Okay. 4 minutes? Okay.
40
Tell them
minutes.
What?
to go down into the description. Press that like button. Subscribe.
We're not
to
there
get that
yet.
notification.
I think we're getting to 40 minutes.
Oh.
Okay, that's fine. We're still gonna talk. Stop giving us updates. All right. Quora, social media. Your love of it. Your obsession.
Quora.
of
Go
it.
on Quora and type in Quentin
Really?
Ingram.
That's what that all about.
QUENTIN space
Oh my
INGRAM. Follow me.
Weed. What do you want to speak about weed?
I didn't know weed and marijuana were the same thing until a few years ago. I thought they were a separate drug. They're the same drug.
An hour ago, you didn't know about cannabis. Didn't you hear about cannabis?
I never heard about
okay,
cannabis.
so that's also
That's also another way to say.
insane.
Why you need so
Crack
many
lab.
ways to say the same drug?
It's in its different forms as well. There's also another one with the H.
I know one is called
I
grass,
forgot the name.
but that's a different thing
slang.
entirely.
That's slang.
Yeah, but like that's still a different word talking about the same thing. I don't know why I wrote weed down for conversation.
I'm trying to remember what. I don't want to say it's hibiscus.
Brushing teeth.
Okay, so this is a story to
All
just,
about how my life got flipped all upside down.
when you're poor, you don't have the best dental hygiene. We'll put it
That
that
you
way.
should take that back.
And when you're a
Because there will be
parent,
so many black people in the
no, it
comments.
is true. 'Cause-
Oh, I just call black people poor.
yeah, good
You
job.
know it's true.
Quentin!
You know it's true.
Oh my gosh.
You black and you poor right
Quentin.
now.
Anyways,
You know it's true.
Anyways, and as a parent, I was more concerned about their hospital visits, doctor's appointments, and their dental appointments.
No one's gonna watch
So
this.
I didn't. I'm still talking. You're supposed. So I didn't check up on my dental needs as much as I should have. So I ended up finding out I have gum disease. So one morning, my son, I had to rush him out of the house, and I was like, Quentin, eat your food. I'd rather you eat your food than brush your teeth. And you are like,
I'm brushing my teeth. I don't need to eat nothing. You don't need to move the camera that much. Stop it.
and I'm thinking, look, I'd rather you have a fuller stomach than brush your teeth. And he was so persistent
Did
in
you
brushing
take my
his teeth.
lifesaver?
Yeah, you threw it at me.
What do you expect? Anyways.
Saving them.
Yeah, I have others. Okay. So, what was your reasons to abandon the food and you're so persistent in brushing your teeth?
Because I don't want my breath to smell like your breath.
No, it wasn't the breath.
What was it?
You pointed out, what? No, I said something first. I said you have the best dental.
Oh, and I was like, I want to keep it that way. If I follow your habits, I'm going to end up with gum disease too.
Right,
If I listen to any brushing your teeth advice from you, I would end up with gum disease. So no, I'm going to skip
No.
breakfast.
Okay, so I said you had the best dental habits in the house.
So I
and
know
then
what
you
I'm
were like-
doing.
And you were like, compared to both of us. 'Cause
Yeah, okay,
I have
so
the best
my brother, the one pointing the camera at me right now, has cavities. She has gum disease. So I know what's best when it comes to brushing my teeth. So I'm going to skip breakfast if the bus is about to show up, and I'm just going to brush my teeth, which I did not this morning, by the way, or last night. Wait a second, that's a lie.
Weekends.
That's a lie. I did brush my teeth
The
last night
weekends,
and this morning.
you're not so
Never
good.
mind. See, I'm so good at brushing my teeth, I forgot that I brushed my teeth.
Anyways, with that all said, I then stated, I didn't put the fear of God in you, but I definitely put the fear of dental hygiene in you.
She says that because I'm atheist. I'm so atheist, God can't believe it.
Right.
That made no sense. I just felt like trying to put in a joke.
Going out of the frame
I'm
sometimes.
out of the frame.
Well, I meant as in like when you keep moving your head.
All right, so we're gonna bring up school lunch real quick because I'm my advocacy.
It tastes bad. What else is there to say? End of the video. Play the outro. Do we not have an outro?
No, we're not done yet because we still have.
Play the outro.
We still have that one too, but we're not gonna get there yet. So stop cutting me off. Now I want to say
Man-terrupting.
that my frustrations with school lunch is with my younger son having autism. He's very picky with food.
Stop
and he
talking
doesn't
about
even
me.
Eat his food. He switches up with his friends.
Shh.
And with Quentin, sadly to say, and with my other son,
Shh.
they ended up stealing. And they felt really bad about that, right?
Okay, we're cutting that part out. I don't want to talk about
I
that.
want to
No, we're cutting
address
that
it.
part out. I'm going to talk over you for the rest of you. If you're trying to talk about it.
Fine. All right. What is up with this nigger pass?
I don't know why I wrote that.
Did you need like a moment of silence to like cut to a different part after that or no?
No,
Yeah.
we'll figure that out later. So just to let you know, a school recently was in the news where a bunch of teenagers were actually passing the N-word to each other.
Ironically
and then
enough,
you said,
on Friday, I made 3 nigger passes for my white friends at school. But here's the thing, I can't make a whole nigger pass because I'm only half black. So I got my friend Noelle, she is 3/4 black. So I was able to do half the nigger pass, and she was able to do the other half. And get this, because she was 3/4, she could work on another one as well. But not complete it. We needed another black student to help us out. But we cheated.
you couldn't find a full black friend?
We're not allowed to make a full nigger pass because we are not completely black.
You don't have a... What about, what's his name? Bakari. You gonna get Bakari to make just regular passes?
He's Jamaican.
Why are you talking about Bakari?
I'm just trying to say, like,
Wait,
you
can't
have,
say his name, Mom.
Okay, you have full African American friends. You couldn't just get them.
He's not African American though. He's Jamaican.
Okay, fine.
That's South American.
Okay, fine. Well,
Wait, is that where Jamaica is at? Oh my God, where's Jamaica?
oh my God.
Wait, I don't know where Jamaica
It's in
is
the
at.
Caribbean, honey.
Where's the Caribbeans?
You know where Florida is and those islands?
Yeah, see, it's not Africa.
Okay, excuse me.
I just keep looking at point the camera over there.
No!
What?
It's
Point the camera over there.
Oh my God. Fine, put it over there.
That man has 2 lips. 2 bottom lips.
Alright, go back. Jeez.
We might have to leave that part out actually now that I think about it.
Yes, I don't know why you brought that up. So you're saying, okay, so that's another thing I've been meaning to ask you. So you say you have white friends, you have black friends, you have Hispanic friends.
I have like 1 black
You
friend.
have one black friend?
Maybe 1.
Wow.
Wait, no. 2.
Do you really not get along with black people?
No, because they poor.
Why are you attacking them by their socioeconomics? Maybe because you don't have anything to relate with them.
Your placement in society and the way that you behave are linked to the amount of money your family has or makes.
Okay, but you're poor too.
Exactly, but I don't act like it.
So that's why you have white friends?
I'm making a joke. None of the things that I'm saying are
You
serious.
seem to have a good point.
I do
though.
always sound like I'm serious,
But
though.
it does sound like you do have a good point.
Yeah, I do have a good point. I'm just not delivering it very well.
So are you serious about what
I
you're
am
trying to
serious,
say?
though. It's not, okay. The joke part was, it's not that I'm not friends with black people because they're poor. It's because,
The way they see the world.
they see the world comes from what a poor person sees of the world.
And you see the world slightly different.
Yes, and the way you see the world affects your personality. And it just so happens that I see the world in a more similar way with Caucasian friends that I have at school.
Okay. Like your Dungeons and Dragons fantasy. Right?
But Mom, my DM isn't Caucasian, he's Jewish. That was a joke.
Okay. All right. I got it.
Muslim is the best race there is.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I guess that's about it. Do we
And
have
if you
anything
agree
else
that
to
Muslims
say?
are the best race there is, go down to the
gosh.
description. Click those
Oh.
links.
That reminds me, since we're talking about it. Okay, so what is your issue with religion? I remember you actually believed one time. You believed when you were in Catholic school. Come on, let's let this be our final topic.
Nope.
Come on, you brought up atheism.
Playing the outro.
Quentin, come on.
See you next time.
This is our last one.
Next time we'll be with Mr. Lowe.
No, let's talk about religion. What made you go atheist? Come on, it's a good topic. It's a good topic.
It's such a good topic that we should save it for episode 2.
Quentin, we're not going to be able to do
It's
this
such a
all
good
the time.
topic that we will save it for episode 2.
We're gonna do
And
it
if you
in
don't
the
want to
dark.
miss it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you don't
You
miss
promise
it.
you're going to talk about Mr. Love's?
Yes.
You promise?
Write it down.
You
If
so
you
much
guys,
sarcasm in
guys,
your
I
voice.
promise. And to make sure that I go through with the promise, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future upload. Just press it.
Okay, we're done. We're done.
No.
No, show me for once. Yeah, cameraman.
Cameraman.
I think this died. Fuck. It died. Hold on.
Did it save it? Xavier, make it stop
Okay,
recording.
It did turn on.
Okay,
I don't know how long it is.
the mic is turned.
That's-
Okay, now it's
recording
recording.
now? Okay, that's
Nice.
Silence.
You see the number countdown?
You're supposed to be
Oh
quiet.
my god.
It doesn't need to be that long.
Okay.
You said 20 seconds.
Well, it's 15 seconds now.
Okay. Anyways, I was confused because I had set him on fire, and he was like, "It's so cold." I was like, "But you're on fire, man."
Okay. So, my younger son likes playing Overwatch, and whatever mother wants to hear is die, 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 and then the other lady says,
Heroes
never die.
It's funny when you hear that audio because, you know, one is... So after it goes, die, 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 she's like, heroes never die. But I think it's funnier the other way around. Going, heroes never die. And then he comes in and it's just like, oh, really? Die, die, die.
And then I always like to comment, but heroes do die. So
All the time.
my realism kicks
Dr.
in.
Martin Luther King was a great man and he died.
Really, you have to bring him up? Okay.
It's Black History Month. I have to bring
is.
him up.
Okay.
Well, at least at the time of this recording. I don't know when this will be done. Probably never.
Really?
You're not actually watching this. But if you are,
No more plug-ins! This is our second take of this. So, I have a confession when it comes to my hatred of Grand Theft Auto, but my thrill-seeking when I saw you play the Hackers game.
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs.
Not
Okay.
called Hackers Game. That
Okay.
would be a boring title.
Okay. All right.
Watch _Dogs 2.
All right, so I really got into it when I saw you guys like hijacking the cars and, you know, being chased by the police. And then when you saw like the urgency of the police trying to find you, and then how it slowly went down. So it was, I got caught up in that adrenaline rush of seeing you guys escaping the police.
Yo, it was so annoying because sometimes the police, they just know exactly where you are even though there was no logical reason for them to actually look there.
Okay.
Like, if you
Oh, yeah,
hide
yeah,
behind a corner, the police will go like, "My, that corner looks very interesting."
I like that one time you guys would park and get away with it too.
Yeah, that's
That was
funny.
fun.
Like you
That was
park your
fun.
car, you turn off the lights, you have your character duck in, and then like they drive past you, and then they go
Now,
away.
the few times I have seen
Save
Grand
yourself
Theft
switching the
Auto,
camera so much. You don't have to switch it to the person that is currently talking.
I thought that was the point of his job.
Yeah, but sometimes I say literally a sentence, and now the lot of the footage is going to be a lot of this.
True.
That's why I needed that camera to be working.
And that's why we're doing this.
But it's not.
Okay.
See, look, I literally said one sentence, and you're moving the camera.
Speak
He's not gonna
longer.
Know. He's not gonna know
More
how long you're
often.
gonna talk.
Just assume that I'm not going to say that much. And then move it when I am saying a lot. You can do that thing where you play the audio of the other person talking while still looking at the other person.
So, what I was gonna say? Now, the few times I looked at Grand Theft Auto, I don't think I saw that.
You just kept seeing that
elusiveness.
controversy with the torture scene, didn't you?
No.
Because I know you know
the
about
guns.
that
The
controversy.
guns are more visible, and the prostitute thing is an issue for me.
You could turn them off, I'm pretty sure. Like, you can go in the settings and turn them off.
It just seems very gun ho with the violence.
Gun ho and ho ho.
Ha 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 ha. With
See what I
the
did?
violence and the murder and criminal activity.
Name the
Granted-
story. Recite the story of one Grand Theft Auto game.
Okay, I know you
Recite
said.
the story.
I know you said there is actual heroism to
Your
it.
characters are kind of they are the good guys.
They are the good guys.
You
I
just
recall
need
you
to
told
know
me.
the story, but you don't know the story.
All right, so explain to me the story.
The FIB in the game, which is their version of the FBI, are forcing you to do jobs for them, to do corrupt political stuff, and if you get caught, they don't have anything to do with it because they can just blame you for it. That's the plot of the game, and eventually you take them down.
Well, whenever I've seen other kids play the game, they just seem like they're just having a willy-nilly good time, just doing a lot of criminal acts.
That's what I do in Watch Dogs, and you were also saying that you were enjoying
Right,
it.
right. But with that and the other games you've mentioned, like Uncharted, it has a mission that isn't so like criminal activity. It's like a side piece of criminal activity, like using the guns and breaking into tombs.
Side piece of criminal activity.
Versus
Play some Uncharted 4
Roleplay.
Play that Uncharted 4 footage where you break into the auction and how literally everyone there is a criminal. Play that footage right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Quentin, it's. I mean, you could say then it's like a spy game. Okay, I would prefer a spy game than an assassin game. Consider it that.
Hitman?
Yes. I'm not a big fan of Hitman.
You're a
Yes,
spy and an
I
assassin
would-
in that game.
And I'm not a fan of that. I'm not.
We're downloading it right now.
I know. And
So-
I've been very lenient these times.
Your only rule is no Grand Theft Auto. That's
Yes.
your only rule.
And-
That's it.
Because you gotten older, yes. But the prostitute thing also bothers me too. How they use women in there. And I know those guns are very
It
pronounced.
looks really bad.
Those guns are very pronounced in that game.
Yo, the
too.
guns look so real. Oh my god.
Well, then I've been traumatized, and I have.
Have you not seen the guns in Uncharted? Uncharted is known for their good detail. Why are you not saying the guns look pronounced?
Well,
What does
I
that
mean-
even mean?
It makes the
This-
guns look just as big as
Okay.
the body.
Okay, someone.
And they're huge.
Okay, someone edit in a water gun in my hand. This gun is not pronounced. Now this gun. This gun is a pronounced gun. You see the difference?
I will show it. Okay, you know what?
Okay, look at this cool editing trick.
All I know is.
That's gonna make sense later.
All I know is I will see a person doing rampage things with RK whatever 15 that they always talk about. Just these huge.
You can't even say the name of the gun.
You're the one that has all the knowledge about guns, which is very disturbing, mind you.
AR-15.
There you go, that one.
Actually, didn't know the name of that gun until it showed up in the news.
I'm just saying they're having these guns and the shooting, and it's very disturbing. Versus if it has a mission like Indiana Jones, it's not as disturbing.
You do realize that Nathan Drake is way more corrupt than Indiana Jones, by the way. By the way, I actually have a photo of Nathan Drake signed by Nolan North. he spelled my name wrong. I think he has a
Actually,
way of writing.
that is another subject I do want to come up with, which is it is disturbing how media does have us innately think that white criminals aren't as bad as black criminals. For example,
I'm gonna stop you right there.
No. I'll give you an example. You remember when we saw Wolf of Wall Street?
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually...
I didn't like that movie, by the way. I'm surprised it got any sort of nominations for an Oscar. It was not that good at all. It was very bad.
Okay.
Like 6 out of 10.
I don't know if it did get a nomination.
It
I know
did.
it made a lot of memes out of it. But
It did?
Yeah.
That movie was not memeable.
Anyways, I was going to say is I was so upset at the very end of the movie of all the criminal acts they were doing in the finance business, right? Because they were.
That's what upset me about the movie. They never covered that much about finance. They just showed him what he was doing with his money. They just showed him flexing with his money, not showing the actual criminal things that he was doing.
But
with
the
it.
short amount of time
Every time they bring
got,
up the criminal stuff.
and I told
No, I'm sorry. I really don't like that movie. Every single time they brought up the criminal finance stuff, he literally looked at the camera and said, I know you don't care about all of that. Point is, we made a lot of money and we're doing bad stuff. And I'm like, no, I want to know what you did. That's the point of this movie, right?
And that's your gripe about school, because you're like, I want to learn about finance.
Yes, I want to learn
Not
about
the
I want to
ratio
learn.
of
Yes,
a
I
shape.
want to learn about paying my taxes. I want to learn about what a mortgage is. I still don't get what a mortgage is. I'm freaking almost 16, and I don't really get what a mortgage is completely. And right now, I can tell you the difference between what Xavier? What are we learning in math right now?
What, volumes?
Completing the square or quadratic formula.
I can tell you the quadratic formula of a right triangle, but I can't tell you.
It's not a right triangle.
It is of a right.
Oh, I said
sphere?
something old.
Oh.
That was the older thing
Oh, no.
with, like, the parabola.
I can tell you parabolas of shapes. I can tell you about what was it?
A squared plus
Soa
B squared
Katoa?
plus- Yeah.
Soakatoa, isosceles, freaking random triangle measurement stuff in the circumference of a freaking bridge or whatever. But I can't tell you how to mortgage your house or whatever. I don't know what that is. That's sad.
You want to understand, like, interest rates
Yes,
and credit cards.
yes, I don't know how that
so
works.
you won't go in credit card debt.
Exactly, but no, we need to focus on what exactly the distance between two bridges are when it's curved.
Yeah, I was in college when I understood interest rates, sadly enough. But anyways, but I was also
Freaking
homeschooled.
college.
So, but to go back with how media, and they got a slap in the hand for the crimes that they committed financially.
He was
Like,
playing
they were
tennis
They
in
were
jail.
stealing millions of dollars from the government, but he sold them weapons they really wanted to use anyway. So
Okay, now you're talking about a different movie.
Oh, that was a different movie. Oh, those
War Dogs.
War Dogs. Okay. Well, either way,
See, they didn't talk about what they did in
that
Wolf
one
of Wall
too.
Street.
That one too.
No, they didn't. No.
Both of them, they did horrible crimes, and they got a slap in the hand of maybe
No.
5 years in jail.
That's what I think is funny. They didn't explain what they did wrong in Wolf of Wall Street so bad that you thought of a different movie entirely. That's how bad that movie was in explaining what the characters did wrong.
They were vague. Yeah.
I actually don't know what he did wrong because they didn't explain it. He
Okay.
literally.
Okay, it was stock market.
Yeah,
right?
they were
Okay.
basically taking money from people.
He was
See? They explained it so bad. That movie was almost 2 hours and 30 minutes
They were
long.
purposely vague about it, but it was always the promise of getting money, because you think of when you're investing in Wall
That
Street.
movie was almost 3 hours long, and they didn't explain jack.
If you're investing in Wall Street, you're always thinking of the future. It's a future investment. You'll eventually get the money, but because he's the investor, he's getting the money, like right here, right now, promising a later gains down the line. You get it?
Yeah, I know what
So
he
you
did
could-
wrong, but the
you could
movie
swindle.
didn't
Yeah.
explain
Well.
at all.
But that does disturb me. That and the storytelling, even of the, I don't want to get to another subject, but I guess we will, is the opioid or the drug, or even mental health.
Opioids are very addictive, but you want to know what's even more addictive? Going down into the subscribing, pressing that notification bell so you never miss a future upload. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you next time.
Okay, no. I want to just touch
I want
it
to end it.
I want to end it. I'm
tired.
Can we just a little bit? I just want to rant. Just let me rant a little bit.
Okay, rant.
That the media portrays black people or people of color like, oh, they deserve the mental illness or the bad situation or the drug addiction that they're in.
Can you show me an example of them doing this? Because I feel like they don't.
Yes,
do
there
that.
are movies right now.
That's not.
No.
I thought you meant media as in like the news.
No, we're talking, well, that too. But I'm saying there's movies out right now, and they're so heartbroken and touching about these white folks that are addicted to drugs.
Yeah, that was what the plot of, what was it called? It's spelled thug if you go downward.
So what's the movie called?
The Hate You Give. The Hate You Give. Yeah, that was definitely the plot of The Hate You Give, about how white people are addicted to drugs. Yeah, definitely. The media definitely portrays. I'm being sarcastic very obviously right now. You keep on talking about how the media is doing racist things when all the media ever does is pander to black people, and it just panders to freaking whoever feels like they're being discriminated against right now. Like, you keep on talking about like people being discriminated against, but the media only ever panders to people. Like,
I mean, that's what's considered newsworthy.
Exactly, pandering.
They want to continually give us what we want to hear.
Exactly, that's all they're ever doing.
And they shouldn't. They should give.
So they want. Oh, well, okay. So you want them to give the news as it is, but not really. What?
I think the news has a responsibility of, especially
the news is looking for drama. That's all the news ever does. They're not looking for stories. They're looking for drama to keep their own stations running.
That will pique that does pique the interest. But
okay, I'm done. I'm getting upset.
Media,
I don't even want to talk anymore.
I wish the media. Okay, we'll go back to me. I wish the media would try to have a neutral stance and try to find a balance between, positive news feed and negative news feed. And the same goes for politicians. They should not show an interest between liberals and Republicans. And that means, I'm sad to say, Trump does have a point that the media is a bit bully. So they should have a neutral stance and not, pick on Trump so much. And same goes for the liberal rights. So I'm just saying, I wish the media kept things more neutral and not have us pick sides. Because that, in a way, is rewiring our brains to think one way or another. All right, that's it. Since my son left. Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 2 points of view for at least something. Thank you, son. You okay? All right.